Hey guys, Armando here, back again, and I'm done with my alien face hugger, and I am done with my chest burster except for the clear coat, which I'll be taking care of tomorrow. So I just got the boards from Ralph for my refit. So what kit to do next concurrent to my refit? Well, I've decided to proceed with the T800 skull 1:1 scale. This is a vinyl kit that I got. I believe it was from Models Mountain, which is one of those outfits out in Thailand. Pretty decent kit. The casting is actually pretty good, as you can see. It's all vinyl with a couple of small resin parts. This is one of the eyeballs. I've already cut the flash off, and I have hollowed out the center to do a test, and I will show you that in a second. This is the skull. Oops. This is a skull, which will need some cutting out to fit the temples in. Kit actually comes with a couple of big 10mm LEDs. The reason for that is because these are actually the pupils. I did a test after cutting them out, cutting out the plastic on the inside, and it's beautiful. In fact, I'll show you guys in a second how nicely it lights up. Comes with a bunch of resin little pieces, which are the assembly for the jaws, and also some little BBs. I'm not quite sure what these are for. The instructions are poor at best. I'm gonna try and figure out what they're for, but whether I use them or not, we'll see. It's probably some detail stuff that goes on the kit itself. I'll check online. Also comes with this. I'm not quite sure what this is. I'll figure it out as well, I hope. Comes with some wire, comes with a switch, and a two AA basket assembly. I probably won't be using that. I think I'll use a 9V to get a brighter LED effect. But let me just show you how cool this looks for the pupil. Set my camera down. Okay, as you can see, it's just a perfect size. It's a 10mm LED, and it fits perfectly in there. It's meant to go about like that. You glue it in place, and then put my LED tester in. And it's pretty cool. I'm not even going to haze it. I think it looks excellent. That's perfect. That's just how I visualize the eyeball of T800. I can see me using the Alclad chrome for most of this, and leaving that there like that. I think it's going to look amazing. So I'm psyched. I'm psyched to do this kit. Here's the instructions I was telling you about. They're lousy. That's about the only really weak spot. Nothing about ball bearings here. I'll have to do some online research to do that. There's going to be some flash cutting out that I'll have to do, and cutting out of the temples. They have this really poor picture here, but I know I'll have to cut out the temples so I can insert those inserts there that provide a texture for that. All in all, though, I think the kit will look imposing once it's assembled. So that's my next build, along with the refit. And I know it seems like I've churned out a couple of kits while my refit sits languishing, but that's just the nature of how I do my work. I tend to churn out the smaller kits while I do slow work on the big ship. But don't worry, I'll be getting back to my refit. Now that I've got the boards, I'll probably do some work on it this week. Anyway, I'll keep you apprised. Talk to you later. Hey guys, Armando here again, and some progress on my T800 skull. I've assembled the cervical vertebrae of a piece, and in order to get this to fit, I had to basically warm it up and squeeze this portion like this so the edges would align with the top piece. But the good thing about vinyl is once you do that and it sticks, the CA bond is very strong, so that's good. I had to do a lot of trimming of the flash. This is the piece that goes at the bottom of the skull. It slides right into this thing, and I drilled this hole. This actually can rotate if you want, although I probably won't be rotating it. I drilled a hole in the bottom through which I will be exiting the wires so I can work on them until I decide where to place my switch. These are the two 10mm LEDs. They've been soldered in place with 470 ohm resistors in line for each. The face has been trimmed and the eyes have been glued in place with the irises drilled. The face has also been trimmed of all excess flash, and the skull, the temple pieces have been trimmed and glued. These were probably the hardest part to get to fit right. I had to do a lot of trimming, but they're in place. So now I'll be probably chroming this first after I mask off the teeth. The reason I want to chrome this first is because I don't want these LEDs to be sitting here when I chrome it. I don't want anything to be on them. I want them to be shiny and bright and transparent. And masking is going to be difficult for a round shape like the LED, and also the adhesive from the tape will probably get on them and ruin it. So I'm gonna get this all painted up and ready to go, and then I'll slide the LEDs in place so that when this is glued into position on the face, any additional chroming I need to do, I can do a rough mask of the eyes without having to worry about specifically masking off the LEDs. And that way I can retouch and the LEDs will be in place and they won't get stained. Now, fitting the face onto the skull is challenging. I've already tried dry fitting it, and it's not going to be easy. But that's typical of these vinyl kits. Their fitting's never very good. But fortunately they're malleable and you can shape them and eventually get them in where you want to. I'm debating whether I'll put potentiometer on these LEDs. I think it might be cool to fade the light on and off. I'll probably end up doing it. But first I want to make sure I've got all the assembly in place. The skull looks reasonably well assembled and I can proceed with the painting. Anyway, that's my progress. Talk to you soon. Hello everyone, Armando here again with my completed T800 skull. I know I jumped ahead a little bit, but a lot of the techniques that I used here I've shown in other videos, so I didn't see much sense in going through the chroming and all that. The assembly was completed, and as I had stated, I went ahead and used the Alclad Chrome. Technique utilizes laying down gloss black, which is what you see here. That's the primer used for the Alclad Chrome. Then I masked this. I masked the neck and chromed those two, and then I chromed all of the skull. That was done with the teeth masked with tape to keep them from getting painted by the chrome. The last step before I did the teeth was inserting the LEDs so they wouldn't get dusted with the chrome paint or any kind of paint, and I glued them in place, tried to get them as symmetrical as possible. Then I mixed up a batch of Spies Hecker custom paint using white as a base with a few drops of of the yellow and a bit of the black to give it a off-white gray appearance. Then I painted the teeth that way, and completed the wiring using a slide switch and a potentiometer, which I will demonstrate shortly. And the final step, after I masked the switches so they wouldn't get sticky, was I applied the Nason clear coat. As you can see, creates a nice glossy surface. That's the reflection of the camera light. This stuff never disappoints. So I am powering the whole thing with a 9-volt battery, which is hidden below. And there's the eyes in low power, and then as I intensify the potentiometer, it powers up. Then power it down and off. So that's my T800 skull. One of 3 vinyl builds that I've done in the last couple of weeks. And I must say I like these vinyl kits. They're quick builds, and they're very cool to paint. So I highly recommend them. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Talk to you later.